coming on, I hope.
There you go.
Hey, there it is.
All right. So we are live now, folks. Again, I am Mac from the Mac and Jack Sports Show. Mike Tipton from the Tipping Point. Bo Crouch from the afternoon show that we have. Coast to Coast. Sonia with the Prim and Proper Sports. And James, who, of course, does Friday Night with the Fellas and is with me on the debate show. And Keith Engel, TGI Sports, has a bunch of shows on our network, MLB, Update, streaming Sunday Consciousness, or something like that. Right?
Something like that.
So anyway, something like that. So anyway, welcome to the show, everyone. Glad to have you aboard, as we always are. Right off the top, we have the old Huddle Top fan. So there you go. All right.
Hi,
so guys, a lot of things always are happening in sports. I guess we'll start with the NFL. Denver's coach, Coach Michaels, allegedly punched a Denver officer in the face and was booked into the Denver jail. So I don't know if that's the right thing to do, no matter how mad you get. But what do you think, Bo? I mean, maybe self-defense?
This is my first time hearing it. So I was about to Google what exactly happened because I had not heard that. But it did immediately make me laugh. So at least we're starting out strong.
Well, Sonia, I think you Googled it, correct?
Yeah, I was Googling it now. I just put in NFL news. Let me just put in. I wish it was Sean Payton.
Now he pays other people to do it.
Yeah, I don't see it yet, Mac. Let me keep looking.
So I do have an article right here.
Yeah.
Saying that he was booked into the Denver County Jail Sunday and posted bail Monday morning. Linebacker coach was arrested on suspicion of second-degree assault of a police officer after an altercation in the departure area of the Denver International Airport Sunday, according to them. All I say, like, if you hit a cop, F around and find out. Like, it's really that.
Get bracelets.
Yeah, like, I mean, the reward. What are you trying to do here, man? Like, you have the job of a lifetime. Hold on to it with everything you got. Don't do a stupid decision like that.
Oh, I see it now.
Yeah, Keith, I mean, it'll be hard getting a job with another team if he is, booked and arrested for this.
No, that right there is head coach material for the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Unless you're,
life is pretty simple if you just follow a couple rules, and not punching a police officer in the face would be one of them that I've followed for 65 years now. Yeah, I don't get it. Yes, you probably put your entire life, the future in jeopardy in the NFL for one simple altercation because a guy basically told him to move his car, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know what happened. I don't know what provoked him, but you don't get provoked to punch a police officer. Just walk away.
Over moving your car? That is amazing.
I will say this, the bail was $500. So even the legal system doesn't look down too much on punching a cop.
Plus the cost of
that's a good point.
Plus the cost of towing that car, because trust me, the car was impounded, and that could be $500 a day because they like to slice those up. But it's a good thing he didn't try that in Atlanta. It might be a different situation because you can't even pull over to drop anybody off there. They're already screaming at you.
Yeah. He wouldn't even get $500 bail here in New York. They just let him out in an hour. He could have killed the cop. He'd get out in an hour.
Oh wow.
So what I read here just now, it says that he like you said, Keith, he told him to get his car off the curb. And
he left his car unattended. Yeah.
And he said twice to the officer, "Shut the F up." See the F word. That's what I was supposed to say. And he said it twice, and then turned around towards the officer, raised his chest up against him, and the officer pushed him out of the way, and then that's where he allegedly punched him in the face with a closed fist, and turns around to go get in his car. The officer tases him for 5 seconds, and then I guess he takes him off and still goes away. Something's going on. I mean, if you're like punching somebody in the face, and then you get tased, and still you're able to drive off. This dude must be zooted on something.
No, he probably, that taser, probably he shat himself, so he had to get up out of there.
If it was the 80s, I would suspect roid rage, but
I mean, that's what I was thinking, but I mean, who knows? Like, wow.
Yeah.
He took a bump just before getting pulled over.
Well, what I was going to say is, it sounds like whoever he just dropped off, like that relationship is over, right? Like my dude must have been upset. They just broke up with whoever it was, and he was like, you know what, man? The last thing I need from you, cop, is to be in my face telling me what to do. My relationship is just over. Like
I don't care anymore. Yeah, or I didn't think about that, or he was picking somebody up. But you're right. Either way, it's probably he dropped him off and got into it. Like, it's over. It's a wrap.
Or, he had his phone open. Someone went through the phone, and, Denver Broncos linebacking coach was doing some nefarious things. Who knows?
Speaking of Steve Smith Sr.
So, Carlos
one time at band camp.
So Carlos says jail crews are on strike in New York. So I'm not sure what that means, but we are now updated with the jail crew situation in New York. So there you go. Okay. So Travis Kelce is returning to the Chiefs for his 5th-year option on his contract. I mean, he didn't look really good at the end of last year. You saw him going around almost the world with Taylor Swift. He came in out of shape, and it kind of looked like he was out of shape. I don't know if he's going to come back hard or not, or if he's going to be as effective as he was. Maybe he's a spot tight end, a spot player. I guess we'll see. But James, I mean, he's kind of long in the tooth.
Yeah. Toenails, long in the age, everything. I mean, I don't know for sure if he can bounce back from this, but I mean, I like to see him try. I like it. I like a comeback story for anybody, So the odds are against him. Rocky did it against, against Clubber Lang, but I mean, who's counting? I don't know. I think he can do it. He's really got to get his girlfriend out of the media, stop being distracted. And I think, if you look at what he did prior to this year, my man is just like an incredible he's first ballot Hall of Famer, I'm thinking. So if he can just really like stay focused, shed a few pounds, get in shape, I think he can get more. I mean, look at Tony Gonzalez. Tony Gonzalez this is around the age where he was still showing like folks like, I'm still that dude. Even when he was in Atlanta, he was still, I mean, you could tell the knees weren't all that great, but he could still get open. He knew the game. He knew the soft spots. He would, he knew how to play the game well. So I think Travis can play the game well as well. I mean, he's that same type of guy. He just needs to get in shape and stay focused, but it's possible.
Well, Dallas is tight end.
The distractions, to James' point, need to go away. Similar to what the Jets were going to do with Rodgers if they kept him, told him no outside media anymore. The Chiefs have got to kind of tell Kelce to pay attention during football season. Do what you want the rest of the time, but you got to get here in some kind of shape and be focused, as James said, and don't be a distraction.
Yeah, I think that was kind of the biggest thing that I noticed is he just looked, we'll say, fluffy this year, right? A little thicker in the middle. And it made him slow. Like, you watched him and he looked slow. He was still able to find soft spots. He was still able to do parts of what he was able to do when he was younger. But do I think he has the ability to be that guy still? Of course.
I do too.
But he's got to work harder at it. And, like Gonzalez did towards the end of his career, he's got to play smarter football because you're just not quite as dynamic as you once were.
Can I be the one person on Travis Kelce's side here? He had 97 receptions. Like it's not like we're talking about a guy whose production just completely tanked and fell off, right? Like he was doing okay. It's just Kansas City's offense wasn't dynamic at all, right? That's all that is a
Sure.
casualty of there's no one there to spread the field. So now the field is a lot more condensed. He had 97 catches for over 800 yards. I don't think it's like we're looking at the end of Travis Kelce. It was just the Chiefs' offense was completely constipated.
And let me
And
guess, you're
that's-
probably banking all of that mostly on Pacheco's injury early on.
No, I mean that goes off of like Rashee Rice wasn't there for the whole season.
Agreed.
Name Xavier Worthy wasn't the guy that they thought he was going to be. DeAndre Hopkins wasn't the guy they traded for. Like all of Kansas City's weapons.
Hey,
were
Juju balled out though.
I mean,
That guy.
What my question is, what was Travis Kelce's yards per catch?
I think
I
they
don't
were
have
like
yards
close
per
to
catch.
10 or 13. I saw that the other day.
it was 8.5 yards per
Under
catch
10.
this season.
So the biggest drop off
Yeah,
for
so
him.
that's
was-
drop too. I would say that's drop.
the biggest drop off for him was, yes, he was making catches and he was finding soft spots and zones, but all of a sudden his yards after catch were way down.
Well, that's
And-
because you
and
don't
then
have to
again-
worry about anything. Like if you were playing against the Kansas City Chiefs, you knew, okay, Xavier Worthy's going to drop the ball from time to time. We can double Travis Kelce. He's literally the only offensive weapon they have.
Yeah, but this is
But
the
I
first year he was
do
double.
have a counter to that argument, Tip, though. When they lost Tyreek Hill, who was still the man there? It was Travis Kelce. And they didn't have anybody really around them. And so besides, maybe really not much. Travis
Good
Kelce
point.
was the dude. So I think he lost some focus a little bit. Now, don't get me wrong, 800 yards is nothing to sneeze at. But again, you can see that he dropped in yards per catch, and as Bo said, that the YAC dropped as well. So, and that's probably attributed to what we were speaking on.
Well,
Well,
and
we're
again,
talk-
it's
we're-
only because
we're
it looked like
talking-
he lost a step. It wasn't because he's just all of a sudden washed and bad. He looked a little bit thicker and wasn't quite as fast. So
And-
we're
Well,
not going to break away from some of these guys.
we're talking about the Super Bowl. We're not talking about the year leading up to the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl where you could have three-peated. So Rudy Reyes is right. I mean, the drops by Kelce also didn't help. I mean, he just looked slow. He looked really slow out there.
Anybody would have looked slow against that Philadelphia defense. If all we're talking about is a Super Bowl, that's the one sample we want to go to. Philadelphia did a phenomenal job just shutting everybody down. Like, there was nothing that was going to happen there. The issue was going to be Kansas City's offensive line and the fact Patrick Mahomes was running for his life like he did a couple of years ago against Tampa Bay.
That
Like,
looked
that was
exactly
the
like that.
Very
I was calling out the whole season, but yes, I mean it's compounded if you're talking about the Super Bowl.
The tush push. They're going to try and ban it again.
Yes.
Uh,
Get it up
There-
out.
It's so dumb to ban that.
No, I agree. Get it up out of there.
Mark
It's a QB
Murphy.
sneak. That's
Mark
it.
Murphy. Mark Murphy is the one from Green Bay trying to get it banned. Bo, there was a time in football where you couldn't pull or push a running back at all. It was against the rules.
Sure, a
So,
shovel
I
pass
mean,
used to be a forward lateral too, but here we are.
Chris Jones lined up horizontally to try to block that tush with them, and they still ran him over. Like, it's ridiculous. You gotta line up in a illegal type of formation to try to block this nonsense. Like, come on.
I mean, here's the thing about it. If it was so easy to do it, everyone would do it.
Exactly what I was going to say.
Have the personnel.
Nobody else can do it. Nobody else does it.
They need it. But the thing is, if that's their only way they can score is to basically overpower a defensive side. I mean, when they get in these close situations that they don't want to go for the field goal, like I'll say fourth down.
So here's
They
Something
decide
works,
they
you
want to
use
go
it.
for it. No, I don't care about the rest of the score, y'all. Listen to what I'm saying. When they get into these little pansy situations that they don't want to kick for the field goal and they don't want to run, then they decide to huddle up and, oh my gosh, let's rally the troops and push Jalen up and over everybody. Like, that is such a pansy move to me.
Everybody can do the same thing.
It's the most physical move you can do in sports.
Right.
How is that a
I don't
pansy
like it.
move?
I don't like it.
It's literally a rugby scrum.
I can't wait for it to be banned so all of you guys can be upset. So sorry.
Tony, I love you like my sister, but I got to tell you, I disagree with that. This is why. I think, look, it's like Michael Thomas when he played for the Saints. They called him Slant Boy because all he ran was slant. But my man broke records with those slants. No one can stop it. If you can stop it, that's when it stops.
That's right.
You gotta learn. You gotta figure out a way to stop it. That's it.
I'll be
that's
the
the only thing
bad
you gotta
guy,
do.
and I'll just let you guys all team up on me. I don't even.
Well,
care.
no. So look at it this way. Look at it this way. Say you
Sonya.
don't like. Say you don't like the tush push, which is fine. If you don't want them to use the tush push, play better defense.
Right.
Because if it's 3rd and 3, they can't run it. So you keep giving them 3rd and 1. That's on you. Play better defense. That's why I never feel bad when teams have the score run up on them. Don't like it? Stop them.
Yeah.
And it goes down to like
Sonia, I agree with you. Listen, Chris Jones got hurt during the Super Bowl trying to stop this. And there's been other guys that have been hurt too.
So it's a physical game. Guys get hurt. I mean, it's football.
if you line up,
Thank you, Rudy.
I'd be interested to find out who's Rudy's team. Who's Rudy's team?
So Rudy actually is
None of
who I'm
business.
going to be co-host for next month for iHeartRadio. So
congratulations.
that's my co-host right
Congrats,
there.
man.
Yay.
He's a
the
Steelers.
Steelers is a-
going back to the whole Chris Jones got hurt. Well, you line up like an idiot, dumb stuff is going to happen to you.
Yes.
He's trying to stop the score. He's doing
He
whatever.
laid
He's
down on
playing
the
defense. You just said play defense, so that's what he did.
Playing down in the field is playing
Laying down
down.
on the field is not
No,
playing.
he lined up sideways.
Like, you can't line up sideways. You have no.
That's wild.
The whole line should have lined up sideways, and
The
then I
whole-
guarantee you that tush push would have been
You
stopped.
have
No, they
no
would have been
leverage.
trampled.
You have no leverage lining up sideways. You have no forward push standing this way. Like that was a strange approach.
And I'll say this, like as far as the tush push goes, I'm not clearly I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan. My team is abused by it more than anyone else's team here, right? Unless you can stop it, you can't sit there trying to ban it. It would be the same thing as saying, okay, well, Shaq, because he's so much bigger than everyone else, can't just body me up and dunk on me like I'm Chris Dudley, right? Until you can stop it, keep on working it. How many times have we seen that? Like, until you can stop Jordan, he's going to keep being Jordan. Until you can stop the tush push, they can keep doing the damn tush push.
Oh, you know
That's
what?
why
This
what
means
you
Tyreek Hill
said-
needs concrete shoes so he can slow down to everybody else.
Yeah, how about Hack-a-Shaq is another one. You just brought up Shaq and it made me
That's
think
it.
of
That's what I'm about to say.
Hack-a-Shaq is a great example too. What, are you going to change the rules because he can't make a foul shot?
Well, that's okay. It's a good thing they won't be taking our vote for it. It's going to get banned, and I can't wait.
Of course, that's
Yeah,
what
I
all
think it
these
is
leagues
too,
do.
Sonia, and I'm
That's
with
what
you.
all these leagues do is we put in silly rules because we can't stop a play or I hate all these sports that just change the rules because they don't like the way the game's being played.
Participation trophies. That's what everybody's getting now.
I mean, if it's so easy to do, then everybody else should be able to do it.
Should be.
And we saw Buffalo try to do it, and they can't do it with arguably an equally as gifted running quarterback in Josh Allen. Like it's
Excuse me,
not.
the Panthers did it twice and was able to convert this season.
There
And
you
I'm still-
go.
And I'm
Well,
still
then you
against
shouldn't
it,
want to change
though.
the rule.
But I'm still against it.
And that was
Yes.
95% of the Panthers' offense this year.
Oh, man.
Then the one who just promoted your offensive water boy to head coach.
I mean, I'm good with it.
Yeah,
Listen,
no,
I already told you all.
Allen,
The Cowboys 0-17 this year. 0-17. I'm happy.
That was not a tush push with Josh Allen. He was just running a quarterback sneak.
Thank you.
So
No, but they have
that's-
run it and not run
not
it successfully. They have done it or tried to do it.
Yeah, Buffalo just wasn't. They weren't successful. They have the personnel. Like they actually have the guys that could make that work. They just didn't know how to run it.
Yeah.
I think my issue isn't necessarily the tush push itself. If you're going to ban the tush push, then you need to ban the whole we're going to push the running back as soon as they get to the line on every play, right?
Yes, I agree.
That's
I
what needs
agree.
to be banned. No, we're talking about
I
one
agree.
play. Just one play. If we're going to ban the tush push, and we got to ban all of the pushing in the back that helps gain forward momentum.
Exactly.
That's what I said. That's what I said. Or pull it. Or pull
Well,
your
yeah,
running
I
back.
mean, when you think about how many times progress is stopped and then an offensive lineman comes and pushes a receiver or a running back forward, so you want all of that to end because I mean that's essentially what you're talking about.
I can't wait for the overwhelming reviews, so we have to watch for this rule. Watching a guy get pushed in the butt over and
Oh
over again
wow!
for 10
I
minutes.
love JD's comment. Your quarterback, that's the thing. He's squatting 600, and they got a rugby coach to teach that act. You know,
Yeah.
teach that.
Oh, that's why they're not getting hurt.
And
So
we're
so
not-
so
they're
so
not
Jalen
playing rugby,
Hurts shouldn't
though.
be able to squat 600 pounds. Like, get in the gym.
Every team should be
Yeah,
able to
he
find
should.
an angle. As difficult as
Everybody,
football is,
everybody that's
as
weighing in is against.
It was
the
against the
push.
rules,
as
though.
difficult as football is, you have to have an angle. I mean, and if you got something and people can't stop, then why are you going to ban it?
Thank you, JD.
Listen,
Also, most of the viewers agree with me and Matt. We're sick of it.
Yes, I agree. I agree with you.
JD's
Yes,
JD's point isn't that
Everybody who's not a fan of that team. It's
So now it's even.
I'm not a
though.
fan
The
of that
point
team
is,
either.
all three
I was
of
going to say,
you-
I'm not a
all
fan
three
of it.
guys-
I just, it
right,
just-
of course. Neither am I. Neither am I. But I'm just
The
saying,
point is,
we're
all four of
I
y'all
was-
tried to team up against me. Mac was the
No.
only one that agreed, and now we got two other viewers that agree as well. So it's even, Steven. I
Well,
love
it's
it.
actually got nothing to do with you. It's got to do with the rule, and
I know, but
you
the
shouldn't
point
do away
is,
with it.
I still they're gonna ban it, and we don't even have to worry about it. We won't have to discuss it soon because Mac will just be like, "Well, it's officially been banned, guys, and that's it from Tush Push," and that's gonna be it.
it's
probably
not going
just
to
like
get
Mac.
banned. Like it is not going to get banned. There's too many other things that use elements of it. The only thing that they might be able to do is make you change an alignment, but even that is probably not the case because you can direct snap to a running back if you want. So I mean, it's not like it's an illegal alignment. There's nothing really illegal about it.
You just got to
You
figure out
you
a way to stop it. That's
you-
it. You got
That's
to figure out a way to stop it.
Or stop them before it becomes
you-
3rd and 1.
You
That's it.
just hang out with the Philly sports guy, and he thinks it's fine, and that's why you're saying.
Of course, because
No.
they've been winning with
I
it.
was always, I'm a defensive player. And so for me, stop the play. Like it's simple as that. Play defense and win.
You know, I'm reading one of the comments from JD about competitive advantage. The whole idea of any sport is to get a competitive advantage on your opponent, and when you get one, you put a rule in to stop it. That's just
How
ridiculous.
do you win? How do you win?
I imagine in like the 1930s, they were having this conversation about the forward pass.
Right.
Like, how dare we hit the ball and throw it forward 2 yards at a time? We're just supposed to run the ball and hit each other right in our leather helmets and create all the speed that we know now. Like, this is exactly what it is. It's the evolution of the game. Eventually, Jalen Hurts is going to get hurt doing it. Philadelphia is going to stop doing it. And then it's going to phase itself out because not everyone else can do it.
Like
if,
every other thing.
if you
But
have
They
before
just,
you answer,
they're paying homage to an old style of football. It's like rugby.
It's
So it's
literally
like
a rugby scrum. Is what
That's
it is.
it.
well, to prevent Jalen Hurts getting hurt in the future, the NFL is going to be proactive and go ahead and implement it now. Because why risk getting somebody hurt later on and then they're out for the season over a dumb freaking tush push that could have been banned 2 seasons prior. So that's what's going to happen. You guys stay tuned. End of story. Mac, next segment.
I actually like Carlos's comment there, Mac. That Carlos is trying to get something I agree with. Ban the name, not the play. I like that.
Pretty much.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Pause.
So,
I'm
say-
good with the name.
Saquon Barkley wants to be remembered as a Philadelphia Eagle. I
Jesus.
mean, yes, he does. Well, he's got a Super Bowl with him.
Well, you know what? I thought about it.
2,000 yards to go along with that.
It just came out as like vomit, right? Like I heard something gross and was like, "Whoa," but now that I think about it, he was with the Giants. I kind of don't blame him, right? Like, I mean, do you want to remember that?
I mean, he only had as many yards this year as he did the whole time he was there. It seemed like
Nice.
he did
Well,
really.
Really
I
brotherly
mean-
love.
It's the X,
I mean-
right? Like we all have that X out there that we're like, God, man, I wish I didn't remember this person. Like, what was I thinking at that point in time? That is what Saquon's going through right here. Saquon, I'm with you 100%. I hate your team, but I'm with you 100% on why you would want to be remembered with them after one season, one good year. I'm with you.
Yeah, he's moved on with the new boo, and he don't want to think about the crazy ex at all. That's exactly what it is. I like that.
No, he wants the new boo to know that he's happy. That's what
That's
he wants.
right.
He wants,
That's
Oh,
right.
he wants the old boo. He wants the old boo to know that he's happy with his new boo.
That's
That's
right.
what he
We
wants.
gotta,
J-Train, I just thought about this.
Like it
That-
never existed with the old boo. Yeah, I got
What the hell's a boo, by the way? I'm 65
What?
years old. What's a boo?
You're married to your boo. You're married to your boo.
Okay, all right, good. Thing.
But I was thinking about
like
this.
20 years. Where have you been?
I don't know. I don't
You
pay
weren't
attention to these
65
things.
20 years ago. You were younger than me. So
I was
Your
actually
wife's probably like, what? You don't know what a boo is.
probably
he thought it was an early Halloween trick or something.
right.
But like now that I'm thinking about it, like I'm thinking all the way through this, maybe this is overcompensation. Nah, baby, I wasn't looking at her. I'm happy. I'm really happy right now. That's what that feels like now again. Man, I just love being devil's advocate here. Maybe he's looking at another team.
I don't
He
think
wants
so.
to
I
come
mean,
to Dallas. Saquon in blue and silver would look amazing. I am Saquon.
Oh, I'm throwing up right now.
you know,
Well,
I don't
that-
think I don't think it's that. I think she put a ring on it. That's the
Well,
thing.
There you go.
I think Saquon is jaded. He's still jaded from not getting paid by the team that drafted him, and they didn't show like, okay, that I'm devoted to you. Look, I said I'm gonna marry you. I'm gonna marry you, and never do it. Never put
And
that
pick
ring
them
on it
to
like
curb.
Cole says.
And kicked them to the curb at the same
keep
time.
having a bunch
So
of kids with them, but don't never get married. But got a bunch of babies all in kindergarten and graduating high school, and you never
I feel like
married.
you're talking about my family now. Like,
Sorry. Talk about my own.
Listen.
family.
Listen, Saquon was a legacy player for the Giants while he was there. He was the only weapon they had. He did have really a couple real good years. He did help lead them to the playoffs because without him, they would have never got there.
Oh, that's right. There's
So,
a Giants fan on this panel.
I get,
there's a couple
I
around.
get that, you know, that he wants to be remembered as an Eagle, but he still has ties to New York.
I mean,
But
just
he won
because
as an
I'm in New
Eagle.
York don't
He
mean I
won
got
as an
ties.
Eagle. He won as an Eagle.
Okay.
Just because
All
you visited New York doesn't mean you have ties there. I mean, I've hit the airport before. I've never been there though. Like, no, I mean, I get it though. Like, you get drafted, so you're going to have some love, right? But then they're non-committal to you. They pay a guy that's not even on the roster anymore, and they're like, "Yeah, you know, maybe you should try seeing if you're worth anything." Yeah, I'd take offense to that too. I'd want to get up out of there. And I would want to go to your rival and beat you up.
100%.
Exactly, 1,000,000%.
Dallas, I would have accepted Dallas. I mean, Dallas is still available. Saquon. Look, there's one thing I know about love is that it doesn't always last. I'm just saying the door's open for you anytime you want, baby. Anytime you want, we're here for you.
This sounds like a tampering issue right now.
That's cryptic.
100%.
Hey,
Yeah.
me and Jerry Jones, we were hanging out, and we just came up with this thought.
He should have promoted you to head
All right.
coach then, rather than shopping center.
So,
Y'all like that name?
So,
I gave him,
That's
shopping
great.
center? Just thought of it.
so Aaron Rodgers, of course, if he wants to play, I last thing I saw about him was there's like 5 different teams, including the Giants, that might want to sign.
Lord
him.
have
I
mercy.
know.
I will bring the popcorn if that happens.
I hope they get him. I hope he goes to the Giants like 30 minutes down the street. He's already playing in that stadium. He's used to the turf. He may as well.
I
It's
The
want
Giants don't
and
want him.
everything.
The Giants want Stafford.
if
Agreed.
They don't want
Aaron Rodgers
Rodgers.
goes to the Giants, I need the replay of him running out with the American flag and then just rupturing an Achilles as he runs out
Oh
with the
my
American
God.
flag.
Jeez.
No, I
Sure.
have heard that if the Rams move off of Stafford, that he wants to go to LA, which makes sense, right? You know, California kid, and wants to bring Adams. And if that
Oh my God. I'm so sick of him bringing him Ren and
if that
Stimpy.
dysfunction hits the Rams as a Seahawk fan, let's go.
What is up with him and Devontae? Like they're bosom buddies. He's not the one that was on that rafting incident with him, was it?
Can
What?
I
I mean,
continue?
everybody knows
Devontae
what a boo
Adams
is now, so there you go.
Devontae Adams had this rafting accident with somebody. So maybe Lazard or somebody else he was close to. When they were in college, they had like a rafting accident and it kind of bonded them. You guys know who that was with Devontae Adams?
No.
It sounds
No,
like it's
not really.
Rogers the way he's butt buddying him. He's like, oh, we're gonna bring Devontae everywhere with me.
And-
So I'm gonna
Rudy, I
continue.
don't mind this if they also go get Cup.
Oh,
That would be nice, and then spend the draft fixing that O line. That could be awesome. I'm not a Steelers fan. I hope they don't do any of that, but that could be a good team.
If I can continue tampering, Aaron Rodgers, I'm speaking directly to you. Philadelphia could use a quarterback just like you. Just go over there, tank everything that. I mean, no, say
This is reverse tampering.
sure is.
They just won the Super Bowl. They give you all that. Imagine what you could do with Saquon Barkley. Force yourself into Philadelphia, please. For the love of God, ownership, general manager, whatever it is you want to do. That's where Aaron Rodgers needs to be, is in Philadelphia.
Here's another rumor. There's rumors that that the Eagles are trying to acquire Myles Garrett.
Oh God.
Oh Lord.
Wow.
I mean,
If that happens,
Right.
this is what's unfair. That's unfair.
Well,
I mean, next to Jalen Carter, next to Jordan Davis. I mean, they were already dominant in the Super Bowl. I mean, can you imagine this year? This season
to
coming
me,
up?
I don't see a situation where Cleveland trades Myles Garrett, right? Like the cap hit, if they trade him in dead cap, is $36 million. You're already $29 million over the cap. So like you'd have to do some weird financial straits here where you give more money long term to Deshaun Watson. That's the only contract you can restructure. There's no way they can afford to trade Myles Garrett right now. So he's going to be a very unhappy player until June 1st of next season.
Agreed.
yeah, no,
That's
like
terrible
he's
because
going to be
he's
a Brown.
29.
If for some reason the Eagles did go get Aaron Rodgers, though, I mean, if we're going for this level of dysfunction, I feel like they have to hire Chip Kelly back too.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Oh
That way they can
Lord.
decimate the whole roster at the same time.
Bring back Nick Foles.
That's
Oh,
what they
I'm
do
with
after they win or don't win. Once they go to the Super Bowl, it's implode your team. Except the Chiefs, of course.
All right, Mac.
Uh,
We're taking over
Huh?
the show.
That's okay. That's all right. We can-
This is what Mac asked for. Remember the way the show started? He was like, "Hey, this stuff you're talking about offline. This is what the show's got to be."
But this is the level
Yeah.
of dysfunction that we just assume Aaron Rodgers is the way the show is today.
Am I Aaron Rodgers? Did I just become Aaron Rodgers on this
I
show?
think you did, Tip.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, well, I'm going to go do some ayahuasca real quick, guys. I'll be right back.
I mean, except two of us have to
So-
get fired during the show, and you're going to bring in some people.
So Sam Darnold, of course, we know he had a good regular season, and he kind of folded up at the end. I've heard that he might end up going to the Giants.
To where?
Where?
The
We're
Rams?
The Giants.
Oh, the Giants.
Oh,
Nobody heard it.
No, I'd heard that
New
too.
York
I did hear
Giants.
that. Yes.
If I'm the Giants, I think I'm better off making a mistake with one of the rookies and signing Sam Darnold to a long-term big money contract. So.
I'm going the other way. If I'm Sam Darnold, I'm staying the hell away from that. There's nothing there for
Actually,
me.
yeah, well, I don't want to go to New York, right?
Yeah.
I mean, a little bit of shopping.
Mac,
Little bit of
look at
shopping,
what you
good
guys
food.
are talking about.
Oh, he's frozen.
I think that
He's
Sam Darnold's going to stay
frozen.
where he's at. Sam's going to stay where
Oh,
he's at.
Lord.
He's
He's probably going to take the contract that he's never had before. He's going to take a
You're not
contract
like you
that's
can.
reasonable
So,
and fair to both sides. And I think it's just he did well, and I think he does well with that coach because clearly you see what he did with the Panthers. And what he did. No offense on you. What he did with the Panthers and what he did with the Jets. I'm not taking a shot at your team nor the Jets. I'm just saying Sam Darnold did not succeed.
He won
those
5
two plays.
games in a row with us until Christian McCaffrey got.
I like that you're walking through the room like I'm not taking a shot.
Yeah, meanwhile, reloading.
So remember whenever Sam Darnold was in Carolina and they had no talent around him? I'm not taking a shot at that at all.
Right.
I'm just saying the numbers show that Sam Darnold's best year. I didn't think he was going to succeed this year, but he
I
did.
did.
And
So-
that's the thing, right? Is Minnesota can get him at a cheaper price than what I think you can go get out there. You don't know what to get out of JJ McCarthy. Let JJ kind of watch the game another season, right?
Yeah,
And try to run it back. If you're Minnesota, I think you've got what, $60 million in salary cap. You can go out there, address your offensive line because that was your real issue, and try to run it back with this squad. Because outside of, again, 4 losses to just 2 teams on back-to-back weeks, which is an insane stat, right? Outside of that, your team did really well, much better than we all thought, and they seem to have a real chemistry. Justin Jefferson and Sam Darnold do. Like, they genuinely have a really good chemistry.
and the locker room loved him. I mean, you showed that they who lifted up the quarterback. It's not even the end of the season. I mean, they're lifting him up in the locker room as if like they genuinely look at him as a leader.
I've
So,
experienced that. I've experienced that in Carolina. I know they don't lift quarterbacks in New Orleans, but I've experienced that a few times. Even this season with Bryce in Carolina, and especially with Cam. Thank you.
Oh my goodness! How long ago did you experience that?
Bryce just got freaking lifted this season. That's what I effing experienced it this effing season. Okay.
Well, was that the gurney? Is that what he got lifted on?
No. You know what? Bo, you are the king of clips. Why don't you find a clip and put it up for J Train? Who can't be mad because the car is broke down for New Orleans.
Oh, I already know that. I'm in agreement. I agree.
Yeah, they ain't never
And we're keeping him too. And we're keeping him.
I like Rudy over here
So
eating
Keith-
sour grapes.
Yes, exactly.
So Keith,
Yes.
tight end Robert Gronkowski thinking about coming back to play, returning with Denver.
He said earlier today that none of that is true.
I don't think this is. I think it's just clickbait.
Clickbait.
Yeah, look, the guy's been through enough. His body's been through enough. When he was done playing, he looked like Travis Kelce looks now.
Yep.
He had a nice little run through the Super Bowl with Brady that last year, but the last couple of years he played, he really looked slow and done, and he's not going to be any better after sitting out for 3 years.
Well, so how this got taken out of context was while he was on Radio Row, they were like, oh, what do you think? And he's just like, oh, yeah, I mean, I should go back to playing football because my schedule is so much harder now, right? But somebody decided to just crop out that I'm going to come back to football. And what he was talking about is how rigorous his contract with Fox is, that he's traveling as much as he did when he played. So that's why he made that. And he's just like, oh yeah, and I like Bo Nix and the Broncos and whatever, but there was no like actual thing behind it.
I'm going to start the tampering once again. He's going to go to Vegas. He's going to Vegas. Tom Brady's the owner in Vegas. Why not? You got some stuff you can happen here. Maybe that's how it goes. Or he can come to Dallas, and Dallas would welcome him with open arms. We already had his brother on the team back in the late aughts. How old do you have to be to say aughts? But like in the late aughts, we had his brother on the team.
I can say that.
My dad used to say that.
Oh, now I'm as old as Keith and your dad, so that makes me feel amazing.
No, my dad's gone, so that's you really definitely gone. Yeah, Keith, you got a payroll place for Tip because he keeps tampering. I know you're familiar with that tamper.
Listen, if you get away with it, I'm okay with it. If you get away with it, everybody's doing it. So
And Tom Brady's not going to take him on because Tom Brady wouldn't take him on because he would straight go. He wouldn't even make a practice squad there with those great tight ends that are in Vegas. No, there's no way.
That's a great point. They got Bauer out there. He's not going to go there.
And the guy before him, Myers, is true tight end. Yeah, there's no way.
The tight end situation there is great. And to Rudy's point here, Stafford has been linked to that. And, Brady had reached out to Stafford's camp. I actually like that fit. I mean, they have a good defense. They have good outlet receivers by having 2 great tight ends. And, I mean, if you can land another, solid receiver, right? Doesn't have to be a number one. T. Higgins.
I saw that.
Devontae, Kupp. I mean, there's guys available. So, you could probably even make a trade for DK because they have draft capital. I mean, there's going to be guys that they can go get.
But if they move Stafford, they might end up overpaying him. I mean, he's not going to be the same Stafford that he was when he first got, when he got traded from Detroit. it's just a different Stafford now. He's no longer the
Yeah, but
gunslinger.
I mean,
He's the water gun carrier now. He's no
even
longer-
even
I don't
Matthew
know about
Stafford,
that.
Yeah, he's not
Matthew-
washed.
Matthew Stafford now is better than any quarterback you have on your roster by far.
He's
I would say
good.
I agree with you, Sonya, that he is older, and
Yeah.
at any time now he could drop off. But I mean, last year he was still. I mean, they were almost in it with the Eagles.
I mean, he's swinging the rock.
His percentages. So at least I be confused because I do fantasy football, so I'm very well aware of how well he is. Okay, as a QB, I'm saying like J Train said, age wise, he's not a new dog, and you have to be careful with these geriatric quarterbacks at this point because they've gone from team to team, and all of them have gotten a turn like a doorknob and a $2 hoe. So
Except one guy.
that being said,
Except
you
one
gotta
guy,
make sure
I'll
that you
point out.
protect him
One guy.
and don't overpay for him because you don't know what you're going to get when he comes to your team.
Well, I don't think they're going to have to overpay for him right now because the Rams are the ones saying you go out and seek a deal. The
Yeah.
powers is now all on the other team, right? The other team's going to be like, you're not going to get a deal better than this. So
Right.
now we can just give you whatever we want. But Vegas has $95 million in cap space. They have a very high draft pick as well. Like, for me, if I'm the Raiders, I take a chance on Matt Stafford and I give him some weapons that he can use because now I got the money I can spend on T. Higgins. I can rebuild my team. I can do all these things. I'm not going to win the AFC West because we can all agree that's Kansas City's territory and Denver's going to be the second best team there. But
Well,
at
no,
least
the word is
chance.
the word is that the Giants are going to be like a top priority for Stafford.
There's no
He
way.
seems like it right now.
He's drinking more than I am, if that's the case.
There's no way he wants to do that. He gets murdered behind that line.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, that's what the Owlers are saying. You guys feel free to fact check me because it's only
I
facts
think
and stuff over
the
here.
team that the people that have the leverage right now is the Los Angeles Rams because he's supposed to get $27 million, but nothing's guaranteed. Nothing is guaranteed at all. So if you can get Matthew Stafford maybe just a little bit more than that, you're still doing great. You're still doing great.
The Rams are keeping Stafford. There's no doubt about it.
Oh,
He's
wow.
not going
Okay, well.
And he'll get some guaranteed money too out of that this next deal.
There's no way. Like, how do you tell someone, hey, go look for something else because we don't want you anymore, and that person stays? Like, I just don't see that happen.
It's
Right.
a business. It's a business.
Well, I mean, he might stay 1 year, right?
It's out of his
I mean,
hands.
that's what Saquon did. They're like, yeah, we don't really love you, but
You can
I
stay
guess
for a
we'll
little
franchise
bit.
you.
You know, to James's point, the Rams do have the leverage here, and I think by letting him go out to find his own deal, he'll find out what his real worth is, and he will come back to the Rams. Is my thought. I agree with
I mean,
Matt.
he
He'll be
wants
the
to
Rams
give more
quarterback.
than the 20. What'd you say he's guaranteed? 23?
27.
No, it's no guarantee. Like there's no guarantee,
No,
but
I mean the cap hit. Sorry,
what
the
he,
cap.
what he can get. Oh, sorry. What he can get paid. What he's due to get paid is 27 this year.
Yeah.
And
So, I mean, think of Daniel Jones, who's not on a roster that was signing for $40 million a year. You mean to
Why
tell
are
me
you picking on the Giants all night here, Bo? I mean, all
You
night
guys
you've
are
been
right.
picking on my
he's actually a Viking? So
I got a great conversation. Okay, so we have spent enough time on that, Matt. Let me switch segments. After 10 seasons, I keep waiting for you to bring this up, but you probably either won't or you'll give it like 10 seconds before the show ends. So I'm going to bring it up. After 10 seasons, veteran linebacker Shaq Thompson is no longer with the Carolina Panthers. He is entering free agency, and that is big news because he is one of the last original Panthers from the Super Bowl team. And so he had 752 tackles in 10 seasons. And so that's big news, and that's all I'm going to plug in for you guys.
So Sonia, I got a question for you real quick. Who?
Oh, no, you know who he is. You about to make me say a bad word on here now, Tip. You know who the F he is now. Y'all definitely know who the same person that knocked Romo out on Thanksgiving.
I was actually at that game. My heart broke
Yeah.
that game. Thank you.
Yeah, he
I've-
just got
I've
back.
never-
It was 2 hits.
oh, that was a nice clap back, Sonya. Nice clap back.
No, that
Nice
was a
clap.
clap.
I just like that after that comment, like Tip is going to be a milk carton next week. They're going to be like, oh, where did he go?
Right, where did he go? What?
Okay, hold. If we're gonna get the picture for the milk carton up here, I got to get my good side.
Oh, there it is. Complete with the earpiece.
Well, I don't think you could use a little carton. You would need like a big jug.
Yeah, his head, it's gonna be a gallon. It's gonna
Oh,
be a
gallon jug.
How's
You
that
need a gallon
mean?
jug?
Yep.
It's a billboard.
I can't talk about anybody with my big head.
It's a billboard. Like, what
Hey,
are
you know
talking
what?
about? It's a whole
James, I'm with
billboard.
you. Thank you. Like me and you, we're just spatially challenged, man. Like there's a lot of
Yeah.
space here.
Me
If I
too.
shaved, my beard,
I've
I look
always
like a
been
baby
told I have a
beluga whale.
big head. Mine's big.
Oh no, your head
So,
is nice.
Keith-
It's not big.
Oh, thanks.
So, Keith, this is especially for you and maybe some other
Thank you.
people that follow the Knicks. Thibodeau, who we know keeps players in the game too long. And Karl Anthony Towns suffers an injury, and Thibodeau puts him back on the floor with injury and all, causing maybe to get more of an injury. So I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I know we're losing a lot, but you got to protect your guy.
You do. You do, and this is a product of them being inactive, basically at the deadline, the trade deadline, and not lengthening that bench. I've said all year that the big problem here is they aren't deep enough. A lot of their depth went away in the Karl Anthony Towns trade, and in other places, and they were going to have problems because Thibodeau's approach is the only one that they have that will work now. And that's having like a 7-man rotation and guys averaging 35 minutes a night. And this is the risk you take. And I hope the bad New Yorkers are gone now, because for years I argued with them that, Thibodeau played more guys than you think. But right now he's got no choice because there's nobody on that bench that can contribute consistently night after night.
And
And it causes you to panic and do things like he did the other night, and maybe now cost them their season if it's possible.
not
I
just
don't know
that.
how mad you can be. You finally have one NBA player that wants to play.
and not just that, like you don't put Karl Anthony Towns in the game without him saying I'm good to go.
Agreed.
Right? So like that's the issue here. Is Cat says he's good. If Cat says he's good, no one knows their body better than the athlete knows their body.
Yep.
So if Cat says he's good, then you got to take his word for it. It's kind of like KD in the finals a couple of years ago, right? Like he comes back from the calf injury, first game back, ruptures the Achilles. It's unfortunate that it happened that way, but if he wants to go, you got to let him go because that's the only way your team can win.
He does
But I
that.
think it still comes down to what Keith said, though, not having enough. Yeah,
It's not there.
that's
Oh,
what matters. Yeah.
You got to ride your best guys when you don't have. When the drop off is so big from like 5-6 guys you play every night, 7 guys, to the rest of the bench, and he just has no choice now. Other years, I would say, maybe don't do that, but these guys are not there. That's on the front office for not getting him some reinforcements at the break.
And it's not just on that, like missing Mitchell Robinson, right? Like if you were able to have like Mitchell Robinson there, like at least what he was a couple of years ago, maybe that helps you out with a little bit more depth. But
Agree, but he's been hurt too.
and that's the thing, right? Like, and I think he's slated to come back in like a couple of weeks, right?
Yeah.
So if they had been able to survive this, now you add some depth, but of course the caveat is if. And what happened was Cat got hurt, and to me, Cat's one of those players that whenever he's in the game and he's actually focused, that's a game-changing kind of dude. But if you're New York, you have to ride with that because, like you said, there's no depth there at all. So you got to do what you got to do.
I mean,
right now they're 37 and 20. They're 37 and 20. And they're third in the East. So worst case scenario, they still make the playoffs, but they're like a low seed.
They'll make the playoffs. But the problem is they're not beating any of the other contenders. They're getting blown up by the Celtics. They're getting blown up by the Cavs. They're getting blown up by everybody who is any good in the East. And the Thunder as well in the West.
They're the Cowboys of the NBA.
Well,
No, they're not that bad. They're not that bad. Come on, now they've got a chance. The Cowboys were nowhere near third. I would love the Cowboys to be the Knicks. Like, come on, now they're
Well,
bad.
the way they're imploding, they won't be there for long, sweetie. And you guys went to the playoffs.
So
And
with the
get out of here.
NBA, half the teams make it to the playoffs. So I mean, making the playoffs does, especially with the play-in, because that's technically an extension of it. I mean, more than half the teams make it. Nothing about that excites me. Like you can be a bad team and make the NBA playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, how many times have we seen a sub 500 team make the playoffs in the NBA? Like it happens all the time. So for me, like I think New York's still going to make the postseason. They're
They'll
just not going to make any noise.
They'll probably be the
What you
third
got,
seed.
Mac? It looks like
Probably.
Mac wanted to say something. Go ahead, Mac. What you got? What you got?
Well,
Like,
I mean, I think they're going to make the playoffs too. It's just once they got to play both. They're going to end up playing both Boston and Cleveland, and they're not going to get by either one of those teams.
Is that Sonia? Is that the all or nothing series where it turned out it was nothing, or what are we looking at?
No, it's Netflix.
all I'm
No,
looking at
it- no.
is early
No,
I
retirement.
see
it's
Luke
not.
Kuechly on
No,
there.
it's not. And
Oh,
Bo,
never
I don't
mind. They
see
made
y'all
that about
doing
the
anything.
Cowboys. My
I
bad.
don't see y'all doing anything. No, it's a freaking documentary that I will bring more notice again to the Panthers because I don't like how y'all skimmed right over the news about Shaq Thompson. We talked about a tush push for 32 minutes.
I saw Luke Kuechly on there. I didn't know what that was though.
Who's gonna watch the Panthers on Netflix? Really?
Are you kidding me? The same people that would watch Saquon be traded from the Giants.
So Sonia, I thought you were showing that to us
Yeah,
because
I
you
won't
wanted
be
all of
watching.
us to retire early. That's what I thought you
You
were
guys
showing.
are haters. I can't wait to go to the Super Bowl next season while all of you guys are losers again.
Gosh, we didn't talk about a 4-time Super Bowl champion, Matthew Slater, at all. I'm not mad.
Not
Right.
you, Keith.
Left his
Not
team.
you, Keith. Not you, Keith, because you got more rings on here than anybody. I'm talking about especially Bo Crouch
I got the second most rings here. How am I
and
Not
not?
to
Mike
mention
Tipton.
Not to
And
mention any names, Bo.
Mac, has
Right.
Mac hasn't said too much, but he was very close when he gave that shot about the documentary. And J Train, you're not far behind, but I'll.
Listen, we won. We went to 5 Super Bowls and we won 4. Just so
Oh.
get the record
I mean,
straight.
Oh,
So,
I clear.
So my team has won 5 Super Bowls. I've seen them win 3 Super Bowls. What about y'all?
So we are obsessed with
I've
the
seen 'em
number
win
12. So we won 1 and lost 2.
Keith, me and you.
1-0.
I'm with you, my guy. Keith, I'm with you.
1-0.
Mac, I'm with you. We are legacy teams here. Why are we talking about the
I'm
Carolina
the only one
Panthers?
on the panel with no ring, is what you guys are getting at? I got
Kinda,
something.
yeah. Kinda.
Oh no.
Oh,
We're 0-2. So we're going next year.
Man, this
Rudy Reyes, his team
show's been
has 6.
priceless.
That was one of those things I didn't think about it before I said it, and then I realized who all was here, and I was like, "Oh, it's
well,
oh my god!"
You
I
try to
walked
take
right
it back
into
as
that
quick as
window.
possible.
Messed up.
I walked right into it and closed the door behind me like a haunted house. Like you walk right in and close the door, girl. Like everybody on
So,
this
Mac,
team has a freaking ring.
Are we going to talk about the combine coming up?
All 32 teams were there.
Shador
what do you want to
Sanders-
talk about? I mean, it's a bunch of players running around in shorts and no shirts, and,
Tights.
I don't know. That's
Getting
all they're
massages
doing. So,
behind
I mean,
the scenes.
yeah, there you
I
go.
was
I just- I
to
just
trade,
want another.
stuff like that.
I want another Chris Jones moment. That's what I want.
What do you do?
I don't know how to
Maybe
explain
we
that.
don't
Bo,
know.
you want to
Yeah,
help me out?
you don't. You don't.
J Train, just look it up, my guy.
I'm
Okay.
gonna look it up.
I will say
Just
this.
watch for the headline. Don't look for the picture.
I'm
Yeah.
afraid.
Mentally
Okay.
prepare yourself. For
I'm
what's
afraid
gonna
I'm not going to look.
I'm good. I'm not
Chris
gonna-
Jones at
No.
the combine? At the
Yes.
combine? Is he
Yes.
the one that had like he tripped and fell or something?
No, he fell out of
no.
his shorts.
Yeah.
I'm looking right
Yeah.
now.
ran right out of his pants.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
really,
I'm good.
good.
Thank you.
I'm good. Yeah.
No,
Thanks.
that's why I said if you look it up, look for the headline, not the picture.
Salute to that man. Salute to that man.
So Keith, a New York Yankee item came up. Of course, we know they can have beards now, so
Yep.
that's one tradition.
Well trimmed beards, not like, the Amish beards they can't have, but
We'll see. We'll see what happens. And New York is now Sinatra's New York will not be played when the Yankees lose, which makes sense to me.
that is a well, when they lose, yes, they should not play it. I agree.
And they're going to play That's Life instead.
Yeah. That's a great. Actually,
Yeah.
that would be awesome. Actually,
Well, that's what they're going to do. That's the
I did
plan.
not hear that part, so thank you for filling me in. I like that. That's an awesome idea. Hopefully, it won't be that often we hear that song. As far as the beards go, listen, it's 2025, and it's time to relax some of these.
Yeah.
This is a George Steinbrenner thing, by the way. This isn't a New York Yankee thing. People think,
Right.
oh, the Yankees, they've had this for 100 years. No, they've had it since 1973 when George Steinbrenner bought the team. That's when it came into play. There have been some very famous guys who have flaunted it. Thurman Munson flaunted it. Don Mattingly flaunted it. Stump Merrill, of all people, had to go to Don Mattingly and say, get a haircut. Jesus.
Goose Gossage, whatever Goose Gossage's facial hair was not a well-trimmed mustache.
No, no.
Bruce Fabra.
You look at they're ball players. They're not, choir boys. Let's go. I'm fine with it. And Williams is Delvin Williams was the one who kind of triggered this whole thing by asking for a meeting with Hal Steinbrenner about the policy itself, because he's worn a beard with the Brewers for the last 6 years or whatever.
I love the soundbite from Hal Steinbrenner where he's like, our vice president has a beard and people in Congress have a beard. So why can't New York Yankees have a beard?
They can.
He's like,
Yes,
whatever you say, you little Spanish fruit topping.
Your time will come, Tiff. You too can be a Yankee now, Tiff.
I don't know. I don't know, Keith. I kind of miss tradition, right? I do. I miss the not having the names on the back of the uniform.
They're not there.
I miss. Okay, well, good. I miss just the pinstripes, not their other jerseys. And I
They always
miss
wore gray in the road. Oh, you mean the blue? They always wore gray in the road, pinstripes at home, but they do sometimes wear that batting practice blue jersey, which is stupid.
But Mac, we're talking about a rule that's been in place for 52 years now,
Roughly,
in the 107 or 120 years of Yankees history. So the tradition is the Yankees having beards and being able to have beards. The push against the tradition would be what Sam Brenner did in 1973, saying everyone's got to have a beard or can't have a beard now.
Steinbrenner didn't even know the players' names at the time. He's writing their numbers down. He wrote their numbers down on a card and handed it to the manager, Ralph Houck, and said, "These guys need to get haircuts. All these guys."
Well, I mean, that's 'cause the names aren't on the back.
Well, we got to get going, folks. Keith has to do his show. Sonia's got a show coming up. So everyone have a great one. We'll be seeing you again next Wednesday night on the Professional Sports Show.